tune in. Show us you've got New England pride. Show us you've got New England pride. Hi, I'm Dale LePage.
And I'm Tina Marie Billing.
Welcome to New England Pride TV. We're going to start this episode with our Pride Pets segment. And I want to thank all of you for watching our Pride Pets segment. Because of you, some of our furry friends have found forever homes. So thank you.
I would like to present New England Brittany Rescue. New England Brittany Rescue is a group of volunteers which rescues stray, abandoned, or relinquished Brittany's in the New England and Pennsylvania areas. To that end, they provide medical and foster care to Brittany's until a forever family can be found. New England Brittany Rescue is a nonprofit 501c3 organization and works in conjunction with various rescue organizations throughout the United States to find forever homes for Brittany's in need. If you are interested in a Brittany, contact New England Brittany Rescue at 781-275-0630 or email at clyk9s@gmail.org. Donations are always appreciated and can be sent to Bonnie Pava, 829 Mill Street, Marion, Mass. 02738. Email momtomarley@gmail.com.
And we'll be right back.
New England Pride TV is presented by Fallon Health and sponsored by the Hanover Theater for the Performing Arts, Remax Vision, Bay State Savings Bank, Safe Homes, Joseph Gonzalez Doframe, Boston Wedding Photographer, Paul Chasen Interior Design, Nuovo Restaurant, Dr. Frank P. Fetchner Plastic Surgery, The Queen's Cups, Escape Games Worcester, Art Reach, Electric Haze, Bull Mansion, Ellie's Pet Barn, Handmade Taekwondo Center, and Herd Strategy and Storytelling.
Hello, Dale. Hello, everyone. It's me, Miss Lady Sabrina, and we're back with another letter. This one I find a little interesting. Dear Miss Lady Sabrina, I would love your advice on this, please. A girl I work with and like is getting married, and she is unaware that her fiancé is gay or bisexual. Everyone in the office knows, and everyone is afraid to mention anything to her. She is blindly unaware. Should we say anything? P.S. We know for a fact that he has been with men even during their engagement. Okay, well, there's a couple of things. Now, when you say that she's blindly unaware, see, we don't know all of the facts. Like, we don't know if they've had conversations and she's aware of it and is just overlooking it. I think even though you like her, and even though everyone is aware, I think it's better to err on the side of caution. You're kind of going by what she's sharing with you, which may be a very watered-down version. There may be a private conversation that they've had, where this has been shared. I think no matter which way you go with this, if you decide to mention it, you are going to be the person that, there will be distance from, because if she's unaware of it or there are obvious signs and it's so apparent to everyone in the office, then maybe there are signs that she's just not looking at that are present. And it is her right to do so. I know that you want best for her and you want to be able to, save her. So I would advise you, even though, you want to, again, save her, I think it's very important for you and everyone else who's not in their bed, to kind of stay in your own lane, and I'm not saying that to be flip or rude. I'm just saying that unless you have all the information, you're not really able to advise her, and especially if there's something that she sees that she doesn't want to see. That's also something that, she's entitled to. I think if you're her friend, just stay present, listen to her. Don't speak your opinion. Let her figure it out for herself. And just be her friend. Be her friend. Be her sounding board. Be the person who listens and helps her just kind of figure it out on her own. I know sometimes being the sideline person is difficult, but you have to maintain your friendship, and to maintain your friendship also means to respect her decisions and try not to give unasked advice. It's very important, and they will figure it out, and you will be there to help her in the meantime. All right, I hope this finds you well. I love you all, and I will see you next month with another letter. Love and light, Lady Sabrina.
Hello, my sweet friends. We're back with more New England Pride TV. I am joined right now. First of all, I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I am joined by the one and only Zola Powell, who is an icon, a legend. I was very fortunate to see her perform a couple of years ago, and no joke, her performance has literally stayed in my mind for that long. A true story.
Thank you.
And I think I reached out to you about 2 years ago trying to, and we've had this in the works for about a year now. So she's driven in from New York to be part of New England Pride TV. I'm so excited. We have so much to talk about. First of all, an official welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'll stop it. Thank you. I really appreciate you having me. I really do.
Just absolutely my pleasure. Let's get back to, I saw you perform, and you blew me away.
Thank you.
How long have you been performing? How did you get started?
Oh, wow. We don't have that much time.
Okay.
But I have been performing probably 30 years. I'm 55 now.
Okay.
And yeah, probably about 30 years.
All right, so you look at, first of all, I would have guessed you're about 30.
Thank you.
So
a lot of people do.
Yeah,
a lot of people do. Yeah. I started at Jock's Cabaret.
Jock's Cabaret, is that in Boston?
Yep, 79 Broadway Street in Boston.
And you started performing there. So did you live in Boston?
I lived in Boston.
Okay,
I lived in Cambridge.
And you just
too.
said, I want my life to be glamorous, and this is what I'm going to do?
No,
All right.
no, that didn't work out that way. I was the manager of the Bostonian, night manager of the Bostonian Market.
Okay.
Back in the late 80s.
All right.
And I had a disagreement with my roommate.
Okay.
And she locked me out of the apartment with all my belongings inside the apartment.
Okay.
And I was homeless and living on the streets in Boston.
And that brought you to Jock's?
I started going to Jock's because it was a safe place, and people were kind to me and friendly, and I had never seen drag queens before. I didn't even know what drag queens were.
How old are you at this point?
I'm 22, 23.
And this is your first time ever seeing a drag queen?
Just getting out of the Air Force.
All right, this gets better and better.
I know. Yeah.
So just got out of the Air Force?
Just got out of the Air Force. Lived at home for a hot second.
Okay.
And then told my mother I was going to Boston for the weekend and never went
came
back home to Shirley, Massachusetts. No.
Okay.
Shirley, I couldn't go back.
Yep. So you're at Jock's.
I'm at Jock's.
You're seeing your first drag queen.
My drag queens. Back then there was Ronnie Evans, Rusty Franklin, Yvonne Dior, Campy Dior. These are all people that are not.
Nothing wrong with your memory.
No. These are all my sisters that I met. And then Leanna Harlow. Leanna Harlow was this big, and when I mean big linebacker type of guy.
Okay.
But painted, we'd smoke a joint in the dressing room.
Yeah.
And she'd start painting her face, and she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my entire life.
She was a fantastic makeup artist.
She was a fantastic makeup artist. She was a fantastic seamstress. She made all of her own clothes. She was big. She was bedazzled and sparkling and just gorgeous. And also, she would do Millie Jackson, which is a black female comedian
You're
from back in the
kidding.
day.
All right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No one knows about Millie Jackson anymore, but she was just foul-mouthed, and this white queen would do
Wow.
Millie Jackson. And
Wow.
was just blew me away. And then, of course, one of my idols back then was Ronnie Evans. And Ronnie Evans, we used to call her the tallest white woman in captivity. And she was 6'3", flat-footed.
Oh,
and so
my
she was about
God.
6'5", 6'6" in heels. And she was just graceful and just beautiful and just smooth and elegant, and I just was amazed by her.
Did you model your performances after anybody in particular in that day?
No.
No, okay.
No, I didn't.
So
I've
did-
never been the type of person to have an idol or someone that I necessarily looked up to.
Okay.
But I always had people that I admired.
Okay, and you found your own way through
Found my own way
that.
through, yeah.
So speaking of the first drag performer that you were in the dressing room with, who did amazing makeup. Now, did she teach you about makeup and application?
No, I just looked. I just
just
looked. I
watched,
just
yeah,
watched because when I was in the Air Force, after I got out of the Air Force, I went to beauty school.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to be a hairdresser, and I couldn't stand doing hair. I couldn't stand it. But the makeup part of it was something that I just took to immediately.
Okay.
And it was
were
just
you
very natural.
Were you this good at it immediately?
No.
Oh,
No. No.
Practice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So from Jacques,
Mm-hmm.
did that bring you into New York? Did that bring you into like performing?
What brought me into New York is a couple things. First, I was horribly strung out on cocaine.
And
I used to smoke it back in the day. Yeah, it was really bad. And
you found your way through that.
I caught HIV, which then turned into AIDS because I had 32 T cells.
Oh my
And I was on death's door, like literally on death's door.
I remember we talked about this before. You and I talked about this, and I was just in awe of your story.
Yeah.
And from there,
From there, a friend who's not a friend anymore, unfortunately, but they came to my hospital bed and said, "You're going to die here. You're going to die. And if you don't leave Boston, I'm afraid that I'll never see you again."
This is going to be it.
Yeah, and fortunately, I was in the right frame of mind to see that that was the truth. And so I took him up on it, and I slept on the couch for about a month. His boyfriend got sick of me on the couch and found me my very first apartment
In
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, and I didn't look back, and my life completely changed. Completely changed.
So from that point, had you been doing drag performances?
From that point,
Was Jacques your first drag performance?
Jocks was my first drag performance, and then I worked up to becoming show director of Jocks Cabaret.
Oh, wow.
And I also even
That's
had
huge. by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And I also had my own cable access show back in the day when they
Of course you did. You're a
Yeah.
superstar. Why wouldn't you?
overachiever actually. But yeah, I had my first I had an interview show, and I performed all the clubs I would do, basically Jocks, and then I would do a show on Wednesday night. I'd do Latino night at Chaps on
Yep. I remember
Wednesdays.
Chaps. Yes. Yeah.
And then Thursday nights I do the Mocha night. Sunday I would go dance at Chaps, and then do my performance at Jocks, and then go to Avalon on Sunday. Oh yeah, I was hustling.
Busy.
Oh
You-
yeah.
Hustle.
Yeah.
But you have to.
Yeah. Well, but
You have to.
there was no social media back then.
Right.
I was my own publicist, and I
Right.
was my own social media.
And we're going to talk about social media in
Yeah.
a little later in the segment. But like now, you're at death's door. You get moved to New York.
Yeah.
And what brought you kind of through that? Do you think? Just
Determination,
Determination.
the help of that friend,
Yeah.
you know, because he helped me along
Yes.
with other things.
yes.
And I'm eternally grateful for that.
Yes.
you know.
And when you were feeling more yourself, did you start performing in New York? Did you say like?
Didn't.
You
what
didn't?
what I did was I became a full-fledged bona fide makeup artist.
you became a makeup artist
Yes.
for a certain company,
For
or
Bobby Brown Cosmetics.
which is you know,
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I traveled all around the world.
well known worldwide.
Yeah.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I
Do you
went
still
to-
use Bobby Brown?
Actually, my contour is from Bobby Brown.
Mix and
believe it or
match.
not. Yes.
Yeah, mix and match. Yeah.
still do.
Find the best of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that experience was wonderful because I got to meet Bobby, and kind of a theme that always follows my life is just being in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. And that was the right place and the right time. I traveled for Bobby's book tour. Being one of
That's
her makeup
amazing.
artists.
Just that in itself is amazing, because that is such a coveted job.
Yes.
I mean, that is highly sought after from most makeup artists I know.
Right.
And you did it. You got it. You were there. Yeah, bravo.
Yeah,
Bravo.
Yeah.
And do you teach makeup now?
Every once in a while, I still teach.
Yeah.
My goal is to get a teaching job and kind of do. I want to approach teaching makeup in a different way than the structure. Here's the colors. This is what you do for this shape and that shape.
Yeah.
I want to teach more of the psychology of makeup.
Okay.
How to treat customers. How to prepare yourself. How to invest your time in social media. Have it work to your best advantage, and also how to understand that yes, people are looking for your artistry, but they want to be transformed, and they don't want to look like a drag queen. They don't want to look like they just stepped out of a runway, and teaching people how to have the best of yourself.
Of themselves.
Right.
Absolutely. I think there's a definite need in the market for what you just described.
Yeah.
Now, this is the second time during this conversation we've mentioned social media.
Yes.
So
Can't get away from her.
well,
She's a beast.
it's a necessary evil in my job. How about yours?
Yeah.
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 When first starting out, when I first started as a singer, there wasn't. I'm 60. I started performing professionally when I was 22.
Okay, let's stop this right now.
Yes. Stop.
Let's take a moment to look at this face. Okay, 60.
All right. This is
Okay.
all right. I have a really funny story about
Okay.
that. So, way back when. And I'm sure you had to do the same thing too. We literally made posters and brought them to the copying machine stores and printed out like 100 and put them on car windshields.
flyers.
And,
Just flyer the
coffee
neighborhood.
shops. We flyer
Yeah.
the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And now you have literally you just have to like push a button. Yeah, bink.
Millions.
Millions.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Speaking of makeup, first of all, I don't know if I've told this story on camera before, but it's like one of my favorite stories that applies to makeup. I wear a lot of it. I love makeup. I actually don't leave the house without it. I just feel better in it. So this is so funny. My husband and I have been together for 36 years, and every day I get up and I put on primer and foundation and concealer and contour and blush and eyeliner and mascara and eyebrows, and I go downstairs and I start my day. My husband gets home from the gym and he goes, "Did you shower yet?" So I like to think that he thinks I always look like this naturally.
Right.
Or he just
Which is good.
doesn't.
Which is what you want. That's what you want.
Oh my God!
Right?
It was so I was first I was like, oh my God, he just spent like an hour, and he doesn't notice. But I'm like, maybe it's good that he doesn't notice.
Very
yeah.
good. That's very good.
So getting back to Bobby Brown, first of all, and makeup, I think that you should do. Do you do any YouTube tutorials?
I have them.
I want to see
I
them
have
now.
them.
I want to pull them right up.
Yes, at Troy Edwards Style on YouTube.
Oh my God, I'm so excited now. I can stalk you on YouTube.
Yeah. And the same for Instagram, at Troy Edwards Style is my business page. And then, of course, I have a Zola page, too.
Of course you have. That's how I found you, I think. Zola.
Yeah.
I think I found you on the Zola page.
Yeah.
You've been busy performing. Some of the performers that you've been friends with have also been like legendary in the community.
Yeah.
We wanted to touch on a certain performer that you wanted to mention.
Yes, my sister, Carlotta Houston.
Carlotta Houston. Tell me about Carlotta Houston.
Okay, just hopefully I don't cry.
I was just going to say, don't tear up.
Hopefully I won't cry. Carlotta was probably one of the most fabulous people that I met. Older queen. She had the longest running female impersonator show on the East Coast. All That Glitters Is Not Girls.
I know that name.
Yeah, yeah.
All the Gladys.
Toby Marsh was part of the troupe. Nikki Savetti was part of the troupe. Those were the three main queens, and then they had a male lead who worked with them also. And then I think there was another member who joined the cast a little later, probably when Nikki was doing her stuff. She used to perform at the Jewel Box Review, the Club 82, and at the Green Apple most famously, which used to be along, I think, Route 1.
Where's the Green Apple?
It used to be along Route 1. I can't remember exactly
I'm just
where
curious,
it was. Yeah. But it was, and back in the day, and kind of still to this day in Boston, the gay clubs were owned by Italian mobsters. So there was a mobster.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning every day.
Yeah. The Green Apple was owned by an Italian mobster and had basically a straight clientele. This wasn't a place for gay people. This was a place for straight people to see female
impersonators.
A term we don't use anymore.
Fabulous ones, by the way.
Right.
No, that's true. Back in like the 70s
and 80s.
And 80s, it was really big.
Yeah.
The term female impersonators was used a lot.
Yes.
And I can't remember the last time that I saw an ad for a female impersonator or something like that. Now it's just
drag queens,
right?
Yeah. Which is okay.
Which is okay, right? It's nothing wrong with it. It's funny how things like
change.
fall. Fall out of sight. What were we talking? Carlotta.
Yes.
So
I met Carlotta, and she was amazing to me, and so kind and loving, and treated me as family. Mm-hmm. I spent I convalesced at her house when I got out of the hospital.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah, I convalesced at her house and also at, God, why am I spacing out my sister's name?
No, you're so, you're so emotional when speaking of Carlotta.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like a tribute show to her?
I haven't. Fortunately, I did host a show for Carlotta's retirement.
Okay.
We had talked about it, and I said, I think maybe let's do this show now, where you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to have a great time, and people are still around.
It must have been incredibly emotional.
It was probably one of the best. I'm so happy and fortunate to be able to do that for her.
Speaking of emotional, I was just given this because we only have 2 minutes. Can you believe it?
That's it?
However,
okay,
let's talk about your idea of a drag museum.
Yes.
Which I think is a brilliant idea.
Long time coming.
Where do you think it should be?
Well, I think it should be at a place where everyone can access it from around the country.
So in New England, perhaps?
I would say either New England or New York.
New York, yeah.
Yeah,
I see it in New York.
I see it in New York, so that people from all around the world can come check it out.
I think that's a brilliant.
Yeah.
Aren't you surprised there isn't one already?
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. It should have drag. It should tell the history of drag in the beginning.
Perfect.
People don't remember that we used to only. Drag queens were required to wear one article of male clothing.
That's right. I did know that. Yeah. Yes, I did know that.
And they would take you outside the club, strip you down to that one outside of the club.
Yep. And it was usually like men's underwear, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you didn't have it on, they'd throw you in the paddy wagon. And sometimes they used to come into the club and just throw you in the paddy wagon
anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I am so sorry to say this has been.
I can't believe
this is the
that
longest.
went so quick.
This is the longest interview we've ever done on New England Pride TV because I wanted to give you as much time as I possibly could, and it flew by.
I know. There's so many things we wanted to talk about.
All right.
Maybe another time.
Another time, another place. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more New England Pride TV.
Hey, it's me, Amy T, with another segment of Experimental Comedy Therapy. Finally, the sun is shining, and I was able to take the top off the convertible, and I decided to do a play on comedians in cars getting coffee, and we're going to do comedians in my car getting ice cream. And today we are talking to my dear friend and up-and-coming comedian, Kayla Sampson. Hi, Kayla.
Hi, everybody. I think it's a prerequisite to work at any kind of a supermarket or a store like that they feel the need to ask you if you found everything you needed. I didn't come asking you for help, did I? Oh, that's right, because you're nowhere to be found. I started comedy 1 year ago when I met Amy T at my surprise birthday party. And the real joke was I did my first 5 minutes unbeknownst to me, and I've proceeded to keep trying to do my first 5 minutes for a year.
Tell me about the best time you've ever been on stage.
I think the best time I was ever on stage was doing a showcase at Comics Mohegan Sun.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great stage.
That was great.
That's really exciting. Mm-hmm. Are you out on stage, or if you are now?
I'm out on stage depending upon the Trump stickers in the parking lot.
Oh, fair enough.
You know, that's the one thing too about stereotypes is like everybody looks at somebody and they think, oh my God, you're a butch, you're super tough. My girlfriend is super butch and she is not tough. That bitch listens to Moana while she spikes her hair.
Where are you deriving your comedy from?
I think I'm deriving a lot of my comedy from my childhood. So I'm not really sure if it just means that I'm that messed up or if it was actually pretty comical.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're an only child like myself.
Yes, I am.
And we've had conversations about that where sometimes people look at us like we have 3 heads, right? Like we're an anomaly. And yet I'm having a hard time. Like, I don't know about you, because your partner has siblings.
Yes, one sibling.
Yeah, and mine has siblings. And I don't understand it. Do you understand it?
It's like a different language.
It is. It totally is. And so what is up and coming for you for comedy? Like, are you pursuing this as a career? Do you just enjoy it more, say, as a hobby?
I think right now I'm entertaining it as a hobby just until I can figure out where I kind of belong and what I'm more do. I do have a roast battle coming up next week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Do you know who are you roasting?
I'm not sure yet. I should find out within the next few days.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
I would not be good at that.
I think I'm gonna do well.
I think your personality, knowing you, I think you're gonna be great at it.
Weird about having to stand up here and like people might be looking at just my shoes, but what if they look above my waist and see that I have a muffin top? So I got the muffin top tamer and a spank tank. And when I put it on today, in addition to my nerves, I all of a sudden realized I couldn't breathe.
Ice cream.
It's really good.
It's wicked good, right? Like, we were just talking, both of us had like a moment in the day, and then we were both just talking about how ice cream makes everything better, for sure. Fantastic. Well, Kayla, thank you very much for being with us here on New England Pride Television. We look forward to seeing you, and I guarantee that you'll probably be doing next year's Worcester Pride Comedy Fundraiser.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Until next time, make sure you're responsible for the energy we bring into this world. Practice compassion and tolerance. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Once again, we've come to the end of another episode of New England Pride TV. It has been our pleasure to host our guests. I say this all the time. I know we learn a lot, but talking with Zola Powell was pretty amazing.
Very interestingly, yeah.
I feel like I could have talked for another 10 minutes or more.
Yeah, she had so much knowledge about the whole drag queen scene.
Yeah,
you know?
and I don't know if you could tell our viewers at home or not, but her makeup was flawless. Makeup was fabulous.
Fabulous.
And I love me some good makeup. Yeah. There's a performer called Kelly Square around this area who does amazing makeup too. Yeah, just amazing. If you are checking out our New England Pride TV Facebook page, I want to thank you for that because we are pretty much at 10,000 likes, which is amazing for us. Yes. And we post content every day, about 10 times a day, with great articles, informational articles, weddings, anniversaries. So if you have a wedding coming up or you had a wedding and you have a photo you'd like us to post on New England Pride TV's Facebook page, we do a lot of that.
Oh, beautiful photos.
Yeah. We just had recently a wonderful series of photos from the LGBTQ military families, and thank you for your service. And for everyone who watches New England Pride TV, thank you. Thank you for supporting us, and to our sponsors. If it wasn't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be here. So thank you for our sponsors. Until next time, thank you for watching New England Pride TV. Please don't be afraid to shine your light.
Because you might be lighting the way for someone in need.
Until next time.
Bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tune in, show us you got New England pride. Show us you've got New England pride. Stand up, New England pride.